Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. This is the girl Ginger and Sister Jenny, Auntie Jenny. And if you want to get formal as Miss Jennifer fLeTcHiNg, another edition of Let Me Talk the Ting. People, you all haven't seen me since was Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, I didn't do on Wednesday yesterday. So you see me today. I know a lot of people wanted to find out what happened. Apparently, they didn't hear me on Tuesday saying that I wouldn't be able to do a live on Wednesday. But you know what? I'm here. And I'm excited that you all were reaching out to find out if we're not having any let me talk the things. So it means that you all are interested in what I have to say. So, we have an order here. We started one time. People, today is Friday. The weekend has started already. The month almost finished. Just now is Independence. Just now, Republic Day. Then we have Diwali. Then we have Christmas. Then 2026. So we are upon us. Time and tide waits on no one but me. Let me talk the thing. I just wait on your people because it's all that does make the thing go wrong. So let me start one time. Followed by the pledge.
I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I will honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders, and my elders, and those in authority. I will be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. I will strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country.
People, blessed afternoon again. I want you all those on Facebook to like and share the live. Those on Bounce Up, please also subscribe and share the live. Let other people hear what's going on too, right? So we'll spread the word and spread the message. All I want to miss today, today is that they always sit down and listen, because today is not a same day at all. Every day is not the same. And you see me? Mm-mm. They reach a point and people have to be very, very honest. It's not that I'm not honest, but some people have to take stock of where things are and know whether it's love a country or if love a self and position that they're really interested in. Because you see, right now, this ain't looking good. It's not looking good. The leadership of the UNC, it's not all them platitude and fluff and all them mama gives them a mama guy thing. If all they want to fall for that, I glad for all of them thing and have no longevity in it. It have nothing behind it. Because everything they're doing right now, whether it's from the oil and energy sector, anything, is based on what the PNM had already put in place. So them ain't doing nothing and they ain't come there long enough to do nothing of substance. So everything they enjoy, is what the PNM would have put in place. We ask all them, tell all them. All they want answer the phone April the 29th. Kamla Prasad Bisesa or Stuart Richard Young, or let's say Kamla Prasad Bisesa, because the code is yellow, and when UNC, when everybody win. It ain't 4 months yet, and it's havoc and bacchanal mayhem. I talked to a young fella yesterday, 35 years of age, and he's admitting that he get wrong information, misinformation. And now that he's seeing the thing and understanding the thing, he has a change of heart. But we always say, when you put your vote, you vote, you can't go back and ask it. When it is cast, it is cast. If you didn't go and vote, you can't say, I want to go and vote now. It is what it is. But if people want to just sit back and say, this one nice, and I like this one and that, and feel like I reach somewhere, okay, let me start the thing. Let me not jump the gun. Literally speaking. So, we always have a little good music. I always say there's something to celebrate in this place. Always. In the world, it always has something to celebrate. And our Dream Richards continue to make us proud, the dream. So this is him in one of his races recently. Yeah, so that was Dream Richard, the August the 12th in Budapest. Doing good. I think he won the silver. So let us always keep him in our prayer, and all our athletes who going out there and doing human service, let us always big them up, because young people is not no such a old people, right? Young people, and we always say the young people is the future, and we big them up. He's doing very well and continue to do well as all the other athletes who continue to go out there and shine for us. I taking you all to Tobago. This is a contractor having some issues with the THA and this TPP. Who's in the THA now? Let them talk, because them live in Tobago, they go know better than me and you.
I was a part of it with all my business. Never charge them. So then when things finish, we're supposed to be benefiting by, when I have work to do, I benefit by getting back my money, what I put out and all these things. And after that, I don't know what went wrong. Tobago just, nothing for Tobagoans was there for them. Nothing. For the last 4 years. You might do a little work in between, months to get paid. Since Carnival gone, this Carnival, we can't get paid as yet.
Mr. Otley told TV6 News that since the PDP, now TPP, has been in power, his music trucks are sitting idly by, while he is still awaiting payment for jobs he had been contracted to do in the past via the THA.
We will fix it. And we went out, and after that, I don't know what went wrong. Wasn't you was pushed through the door, and that was what's going on today. Today, nobody who was there to work to make this party gets nothing. I can't even get and work now. Heritage come and pass, I don't get a day work. All my music just sitting there, music chuck, everything. When you call on them, nobody answer the phone anymore.
Mr. Otley says the TPP needs to change their ways or be voted out.
I had to talk out because I'm doing business. And I believe Tobago, to grow, they have to change their ways or remove them. I can't live with it anymore.
Otley's comments come following a voice note circulating on social media where he called out the Farley Augustine-led THA. He showed TV6 News an office space that was dedicated to the PDP before the party's falling out to form the now TPP.
Farley come to me twice, and I took like a money come to me here. Shorty, I come to talk to you, let me fix this thing. And after that, the phone went and answer. Some months down the road again, he come back again, he came with my niece now. And since after that, nothing is not happening. Well, now he don't answer his phone at all. I don't know if Farley alive.
He said there has been no development in Tobago.
Because there's only use you. And after that, nobody care about you anymore. So we are careful about how we're going out there, wrong politics. All right, so I hope I know our next election coming up very soon.
Right.
I hope that the people change from these regimes right now, because this regime is doing it for Tobago. If we walk through Tobago, nothing is happening. Walk through Scarborough, nothing is happening. We talk about tourism, nothing is happening. Them just here doing their own thing. They need guidance.
Elizabeth Williams, TV6 News.
That's in Tobago there. And if you see my show today, I say if you can't do the work, right out. If you can't do the work, right out. Listen to this one. Excuse me. Then this present government say they having a SOE because of some threat or something they would have detected in the prisons. And that the state of crime, and they're looking at stand your ground laws. Although I keep saying we have home invasion laws already in this country. The only difference with the home invasion law and the stand your ground, I don't know if it's that what they like about it. In the home invasion laws, if you could get away safely, or if you could de-escalate a situation, then you should do that. The self-defense come in when you don't have no choice but to stand your ground. You don't have to run. You don't have to de-escalate nothing. You could just feel a how, nobody ain't you, and you just shoot. And you heard the Minister of Justice say you could shoot people in the back. That's the things we were hearing and hearing, right? Now we're hearing, this is an article, August the 13th, 2025, the CNC 3, so I guess it will be Guardian. PM urges homeowners to consider panic buttons. Prime Minister Kamala Persad has revealed that she has a panic button installed in her private home and is encouraging other homeowners to consider doing the same. Speaking during the public consultation on the Stand Your Ground legislation at a constituency office in Pina last night, Persad, the MP for Superior, described the device as an inexpensive but effective tool for personal safety. If you don't have CCTV camera and you don't have anything, anytime you are worried, you just press that button and the whole place is noise, like a siren blaring, she said. We did that at our home. So I'm saying that it is not so expensive to do. You might, so maybe you can consider that until we get the criminals safely locked away behind bars. The Prime Minister assured that the state of emergency is working and admitted, but it does take time. Her comments came as several residents at the consultation shared personal stories of crime and the measures they have taken to protect themselves. One woman who requested anonymity said her family members had been victims of crime spanning 40 years. She recalled that her grandparents were brutally attacked during a home invasion in 2014 and both later died. Supporting the legislation, she said there is nothing greater than being able to protect themselves and their family. Another victim who also requested anonymity recounted that his wife and daughter were almost raped after 4 bandits stormed their home. He expressed disappointment that the perpetrators were only sentenced to 2 years in prison and urged residents to install a bunker or safety norm in their homes. Penal resident Nari Samaru welcomed the legislation, saying it would give citizens the right to whop assailants who break into their homes. He said he and his wife have invested heavily in security measures, including CCTV cameras, alarm system, night security lights, and even a Rottweiler. Samaru also described an incident in which his cousin, a licensed firearm holder, hesitated to defend herself during a break-in because she feared the law would not protect her actions. Now, if the Prime Minister could be given alternatives, which is have panic button on your phone and all that, and other residents say they have this measure in this measure, in that measure, in this measure, in and all that, then why can't the home invasion laws that we have be used and strengthen those other alternatives? A man even say have a panic room. So if people could come up with these solutions, they ain't say nothing about having no gun. They talk about panic room, CC camera, those things they talk about. One person talk about a homeowner who hesitated because she feared what the law will do. That is one person, but everybody else speak about other measures to take. So why can't the other measures be taken along with our home invasion laws? Why it is you need to have a stand your ground law where a minister of justice tell you could shoot somebody in the back? And then tell you the full thing, because police still had to come. So the landowner, property owner who hesitated thinking what the law will do to her, if she felt threatened at that point in time and it was in defense of herself or her family or her property, the home invasion law give you the authority to defend yourself. The stand your ground, the only difference the stand your ground is you don't have to run, you don't have to hide, you don't have to de-escalate. You just have to feel threatened. And as according to the Minister of Justice, even if the person running away from you, shoot them in the back. Anybody want to really take on that responsibility, because that still has to go before police. The police and them still have to come to see whether or not it was justified. And if it is justified, you have to go to court for a judge and a jury or a judge alone to pronounce on the action again. So they're confusing people. Because if the Prime Minister ain't tell about get your license for ammo, she said, put this thing on your phone, a panic button on your phone. It'll sound like a siren and all kind of thing. So she given another way you could help protect yourself. She ain't saying nothing must stand your ground. Laws there. You know? She's the one was talking about knock it, cock it, and all kind of thing. And consultation going on. She's the head of the whole team. And she mentioned nothing must stand your ground. She tell about other measures to use. So what is really about, people? What is really about? All that dick sense out of nonsense, you know? All right, listen, let me continue. So I see the new NIB. Well, NIB has a new board. This was in the news yesterday. It says the National Insurance Board, NIB, has a new board of directors. In a statement, the NIB said the members of the new board received their instrument of appointment from Finance Minister Dravindranath Thakur on August 2nd. NIB said its new chairman, Judy Kalu, is a retired leader in the financial sector whose career spanned 4 decades across the Caribbean. The company added its board included representatives from government, business, and labor, ensuring balanced and inclusive perspectives in decision making. The NIB said it looks to the future with optimism and a clear mandate to protect the working population of Trinidad and Tobago. In a separate statement, the TT Manufacturers Association, TTMA, congratulated its CEO, Ramesh Dean, on his appointment as one of the members of the new NIB boards. The TTMA congratulated the other board directors as well. The other members are Christopher Skeet. I think this Christopher Skeet, if I'm not mistaken, is the President General of NUGFW. Avinash Maharaj, I think that Avinash Maharaj is, if I'm not mistaken, the first Vice President of PSA. Chanel Quinlan, Raquel Sibaran Singh, Maiku, or who, Samanat Ali, Patricia Dukaram, Neela Maharaj, Sati Maniram Kudlal. All these are the NIB board. It reads out like, here are the surnames again: Maharaj, Sibaran Singh, Maiku, Ali, Dukaram, Maharaj, Maniram, Kodhai, or Kudihide. They would want to believe this UNC, that is because of them all these things happen. Let me read something for you from Forged from the Love of Liberty about the opening of the first branch of National Insurance Board. Yes? Mr. Chairman, honorable ministers, honorable members of parliament, members of the National Insurance Board, executive director of the National Insurance Board, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened there. Director, help me with that, right? Sorry about that, people. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to mark the formal opening of the first branch of the National Insurance Board, constructed for and owned by the board. We are just 5 weeks past the 5th anniversary of the commencement of operation under the National Insurance System, the 10th of April 1972. This is therefore an appropriate occasion to assess the operation of the system over the past 5 years. The National Insurance System is an outstanding example in our community of cooperation between government, Business and Labor. Its board of control comprises 3 representatives, each appointed by government, business, and labor. A chairman acceptable to all groups and the executive director as ex officio member. The only constraint on the board is its obligation under the law to act in accordance with any general directions of the government given to it by the Minister of Labor. The law sets up an investment committee comprising the chairman of the board as chairman, 1 nominee, each of the Minister of Finance, the business representative on the board, the labor representative on the board, with the financial controller as ex officio non-voting member. The investment committee operates under 2 constraints only. The board approves the percentages of each class of investment, and the act prescribes the type of investment which is subject to amendment by the Minister of Finance. The second restriction is identical to the power exercised by the Minister of Finance under law over all insurance companies in respect of their statutory funds. Government does not control the National Insurance Board. It is a minority position on both the board. It is in a minority position on both the board and the investment committee, the chairman being a person acceptable to all 3 groups. So much of this board and its operation. Let us turn now to the board investment. The sum accumulated to the present is 264 million invested as follows. Government securities, 96.9 million, 37.7%. Fixed deposit with banks and other financial institutions, 83.0 million, 31.5%. Mortgages, 62.4 million, 23.7%. Debentures, 11.4 million, 4.3%. Equities, 10.0 million, 2.8%. The 2 indigenous banks, National Commercial Bank and Workers Bank, are the principal recipient of fixed deposits from the National Insurance Board, about 13 million in each. The pressure of the National Insurance Program to increase the levels of its benefits payable have been largely influenced by inflation. The increases in the index of prices over the past 3 years has exceeded the total increase of the index over the preceding 2 decades. The actuaries in its first report will be under constant pressure to adjust benefits payable. As such, the present composition of the investment portfolio, where over 90% is invested in fixed interest securities, will not provide the board with the necessary funds to pay each such increases in benefits. They recommended that the board will have to consider investing a larger percentage of their funds in property and in equity. Both of these types of investment have in the past kept pace with inflation in respect of capital growth as well as income generation. That is why the Minister of Finance, after consulting with the chair of the board, announced that in the 1977 budget speech that the government, together with the National Insurance Board, will form a partnership aimed at establishing a tenant-landlord relationship which will satisfy the national demands for both parties. So this national insurance came out of Dr. Eric Eustace Williams and a People's National Movement since 1972. I thought that was just fitting that I should read a little history. Let me continue. I am seeing you all share the live, share. I only want to miss 2 parts of this, 2 parts of this live. I only want to miss today, because I'm very serious. So this was in Trinidad Express, August the 14th. It says, do they want us to start begging? CPEP workers denied assistance. It feels like a rug being pulled from under our feet. The words of Anne Maria McLean Rogers, a former community-based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program, CPEP worker, who was speaking not just for herself, but on behalf of her 6 other ex-CPEP colleagues, who all came to Express House early yesterday morning to be heard. In their hands were brown envelopes containing documents that they were asked by the Ministry of the People, Social Development and Family Services to photocopy and forms they were asked to fill out last week. They had just come from the Henry Street office where they claim they got a runaround. According to McLean Rogers, the group has been trying to get assistance from the ministry as a way to make ends meet and send their children back to school in September. 2 weeks ago, we went to the Henry Street office. They gave us forms to fill out and told us what documents we had to bring back. One of the forms had to be filled out by our ex-contractor, which we took to him and got signed. After we did that, we went there this morning and we were told that we were disqualified because CPEP workers received 2 fortnight payment in July, she said. The officer said that she got the instruction from high up and that we were disqualified, CyAh Kameho said. We know that Mrs. Kamla Prasad paid us, but we know of former CPEP workers in the east of the country, temporary and permanent, who now have food cards, McLean Rogers chime in. So we have to ask, is this a Belmont thing? Maria, who is married and said she was told by the minister that since her husband is the head of the household, he should apply for the assistant instead. My husband didn't work CPEP, so I want to know what that has to do with him. And I know my husband not filling out any form. How long do they think the July pay would last? As parents file into the nearby Unique bookstore to buy school books for their children, Maria wondered about her own children. She requested a book grant at the Social Development Office too, she said, but was told to go to the Ministry of Education. But when I went to the Ministry of Education, they said the program is no longer in place. For Karen Douglas, losing her CPEP job was a double whammy, as she was also displaced from her Bella Road home, which was destroyed by fire. Asked if they had pursued other work since they lost their jobs, McLean Rogers said some of them were told by employers that they couldn't afford to take on more employees, while others were deemed too old for the jobs that they were applying for. At least 2 of the 7 ex-CPEP workers who visited the Express were 60 years old or close to that age and are concerned about their future as they have rent to pay and medication to buy each month. All this is very hurtful to us. It comes like people running us, said Mark Ramsey, who also has to look for rent to pay this month. We want that when we go to these places like social development, that we should get help, McLean Rogers said. We want to know when things will start happening again for us. Because right now, we are just going around in circles. We are human beings. Do they want us to start begging? I want to say woe unto them who have these women out there. And the wickedness, because money was passed in the budget last year for CPEP. So it's not like they have to go to look for money. And if we have a problem with the contract, that is between all and the contractors. That has nothing to do with the CPEP workers, because it's not the contractors that pay CPEP workers, it's the CPEP company. And every CPEP company got money last year passed in the budget to pay workers for a period of time. Why they're not working? But what on to all you, what on to all, because I suspect what could happen. And this lady confirmed my fears. I could suspect what could happen. There could be an increase in domestic violence. There could be an increase in child abuse. There could be an increase in women prostituting themselves to get something to eat. There could be an increase in homelessness, an increase in crime, because all it was the one used to be staying. Paying them about people in poverty, and when they can't eat, they go thief. So now The PNM never fire 10,500 CPAP workers, never. And take them out of the system just so. And there are school books to buy, there are rent to pay, there are bills to pay. And nothing for them. They get in a run around. This is the UNC where they care. The Prime Minister is the mother. They care. They care about all you. Eh? All them form to fill out. Them and do nothing wrong. The CPAP workers and do nothing wrong. What is stopping them? Is it because there's a large percentage of African people? And because African people is perceived to be voting for PNM, well, they're doing them that. Or is it because they're from Stuart Young constituency? Or they're doing them that? Well, they have this woman and I'm walking up and down. Vahindra man, what's her name? Verinder Mohit, the one who is naked all over Facebook, because when Dale and Tony asked she was she never say no. So I go in at where they say, where they see. Was naked all over Facebook. He's a woman. Or is it because he was naked over Facebook and all the pamper I'm showing? You don't care if woman had asked a question. You don't care if woman had to show the pamper to get money or something. Asking a question. What are these women suffering so far? And all they care? The heartless PNM always be talking about PNM has more love for people than all. Because PNM would have never fire all them workers. They were so about petrol train. The workers were retrenched. There was a retrenchment package. Millions of dollars, billions of dollars was put out to pay them. Caroni, they just want to talk about Caroni. Caroni workers get the largest retrenchment package ever in the Commonwealth. And they get land too, and they now come and get 200 leases again on land. But the CPAP workers, all they're fighting them, all they're victimizing them, war unto all you. It have a spiritual price to pay for them thing. All they feel all they big and all they large and in charge. Okay. All they continue, it have a spiritual price to pay. When them women and the children start to cry and the tears fall, all they feel they go fall on the ground. When they go down on the knees to Papa God and start to pray, you think the prayers go fall on the ground? What is suffering these women so far? No, they're asking them to beg. Yes, they want all to beg. Because all these African people, all these PNM people, they say they want all to beg. They want to see African people come like dog on the streets in Trinidad and Tobago. That's my opinion. The government that say yellow is the code and when UNC win, everybody win. But I not seeing people win. Only a certain set of people winning. Because I sit as on board, the activists and them, we should be costing people all kind of thing on board. Eh? War unto all your boy. Women and children. When African woman cry, I don't know about no other race. Yeah, I talk about African woman. I say African woman, African people cry. And they go down in prayers, in truth and honesty. Hey! Ashe. All they continue to play with people for the wickedness. What are they doing these women and them that for? And then they're saying it is alleged the Indian women across the Carney Bridge getting food card. I wouldn't doubt it, but I say alleged. But I wouldn't doubt it. Let me continue. Well, let's go ahead. Go ahead and suffer people unjustly. So I'm seeing here as the CPAP contractor, I think that is Eastman Company or something. So they are appealing the judgment by the judge. Because this thing has to go, the judge would have sent a document to the DPP to see if or whatever it is. The DPP don't have no investigating office. If you find thing wrong and whatever, it has to go to the police. But then again, I understand, I see a CyAh summary report, which showing that when this man, I think it's the CEO, I'm not sure, this is Mr. Eddie. when he would have produced, that is why I say in the story now, he produced the 2017 cabinet note that Faris Alwari spoke about, that the former Minister of Finance spoke about, that there was a 2017 cabinet note. There's a area in that note that gives CPEP company the authority to hire, fire, extend contract, all that. But they are saying, based on the report I was saying, that this Mr. Eddie, like he didn't include that into the evidence sent to the judge. So the judge didn't get the full cabinet note. That's why he's saying, like that part was missed out. So why would you send something in your arguments against why it is, or let's stop CPEP and the contract, and not put in it in all the areas of the 2017, because nobody didn't know that 2017 cabinet note, well, people, ordinary people, we didn't know that. And it's when Faris Alwari and them talk about it, you say, what? And then they have to profile it and produce it. Because Comember don't stick with them kind of thing. You can say, wait, one more Comember. But them kind of thing, so he's sticking with it. If he say it have it have it. Yeah? Now to find it, now to hear the clause in it, which show that CPEP company could hire, extend contract and all that, all they didn't put in that when they submit, it has been alleged to the judge. Now I tell you, woe unto them who doing this thing to these women, you know? Woe. So we have that. And this is what one Mr. Edward Hart had what to say about CPEP. Because they wanted to believe is only cutting grass, but in Caroni, 1972, is grass they used to cut too. Sugarcane is grass. It's grass they used to cut. And Caroni wasn't making no money. Caroni was operating at a loss right through, only had to get government subvention. As I said, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, when he was Minister of Agriculture, he had to write off, I think, $1 billion in loans from Caroni to save for 6,000 people, mainly people of Indian descent. So that was a gang too. Oh, they want to talk about CPEP? Is a gang? That was a gang too. Mainly people of Indian descent, cutting grass, and they making no money. Not me say so. All the information is there to read and see. But when the government couldn't carry them no more, had to shut down Caroni, but they make sure that them workers and them get it nice. But all they shut down CPEP was mainly people of African descent. For no fault of their own. They ain't thief, they ain't cost nobody, they ain't rob nobody, nothing. There was no grievance procedure to tell them why they find them. Nothing. Just so they come to work and fire them, just so. And they put nothing in place to them and have 10,000 plus people out on the breadline now. And talking about all they get them 2 weeks pay. If they was working that would be the legal pay. It's only stop them from working. Them didn't say that they want to work. So whatever money they entitled to, all they was to pay them. So they get them two weeks salary or something. Or they ain't doing them no favor. Because that is the salary they was entitled to because they was working. It's only stop them from working. So they didn't do them no favor. Don't make all people all they sit around there and feel this government doing all any favors. And when they give all this something, oh my God, they doing all no favors. They do work at the government. So this was in Friday, the 24th December 2004 Newsday. Member for Tanapuna Eddie Hart has praised CPEP workers for the way they have carried out their duties in his constituency. At the same time, while addressing workers who belong to the debut gang, Hart urged them to continue the good work in the environment, clean it, beautify it, enhance it, and so hold it in trust for many generations to come. It is either we accept the responsibility as a covenant to the future or wallow forever in a cesspool of filth in which life itself can quickly become untenable. He said, Hart told his large audience at the Center of Excellence last Saturday night that in a changing world, jobs were no longer guaranteed for life. People have to think now about creating their own means of living. And it is what CPEP is all about. A whole new work culture is being instilled. It is a new work culture that shall leave behind the old URP mentality for good because CPEP program seeks to make each and everyone a responsible citizen, he said. He advised workers who are employed by the contractors that they themselves should seek to become contractors so spread the management skills. We advise you to tender for anything that falls within your remit or ambit. We say remove your fears and go forward bravely. A whole new world awaits you, said Hart, noting that all over the world the same battle was being fought for the preservation of the environment. Hart referred to the Madame Vangan Matia, the 64-year-old African woman who won the 2004 Nobel Peace Prize. She won the prize for her efforts over a 30-year period as leader of the Green Belt movement, through which 30 million trees were planted and women being empowered at community levels to be in the vanguard of environmental preservation. Her story should be a guiding light to all of us, said Hart. He also praised the CPEP workers who assisted in Grenada after the onslaught of Hurricane Ivan earlier that year, 2004. So when they want to talk about CPEP cutting grass alone, CPEP is about building and securing and keeping the environment clean. And that is what the reforestation workers are doing, replanting, because the environment is something we need to keep healthy, keep green. Because when the trees and them through the leaves let out oxygen for us to breathe, and we let out carbon dioxide, those trees and the leaves and they absorb the carbon dioxide first. If we didn't have trees around, we'd be really living in solar. If we didn't have the CPEP around and we don't have them now, the place looking like a big dustbin, grass high as hell, grass covering you, garbage all over the place. But we want to talk about cutting grass. Anything African people doing in this country to build up themselves, or let us pull it down and fight it or make them feel they're doing something wrong. CPEP was never designed just to remain there doing that work. You could become contractors. You could where the thing for contract traders do? Thing for contract. You know what people I know become waka man and waka. Long time you never used to see no waka woman. It's a woman walking waka now, coming out of the CPEP program. Because it was a learning thing, you go and work and then you go and do some little course or something after. But it's African people who honestly will benefit from it. So let's take it away from them. That's my opinion. Let me continue. Somebody saying unions are silent on job losses. They must be silent. And Avinash Maharaj is on the board of NIB. He from PSA. And Christopher Skeet, if that's the same person, he on the board of NIB. He from NUJFW. What are they talking about? And where Elder, go tell her about Elder just now. Where Elder is? Them may have time with labor again. Them nice. They get board appointment. Union silent on job losses. Right? And I'm bound to read this story because I just said my piece. They're silent on it because, in my opinion, they're getting nice. Thing nice with them. So, I was talking to somebody recently, and they told me something is alleged. Something somebody said. And it is alleged the person said the wife entitled to be on a board. So I don't know if there's entitlement to be on a board now. I know if you have these skills and whatever the case may be, and activism, whatever it is, you're on a board. I don't know you're entitled. Where's this thing about everybody feeling entitled to this and entitled to that? And your wife is a qualified person, a professional. Leave that for somebody on the ground. Leave that for a grown person to get that. You walking, she walking. You is a minister, she's a professional too. Well, I want a board appointment still, but probably that is why you could say that, because when they say the union ain't talking out, about the job losses. This is what one union leader would have said.
At this point in time, unfortunately, because of what we had, you have become no collateral damage, but we are going to see about them, we're going to take care of them, as best as we can, just say to them, have a little stream and sometime.
Minister, thank you very much for your response.
Mr. Zelda.
Minister in the Ministry of Public Utilities, which of course is aligned to CPEP. CPEP falls under the Ministry of Public Utilities.
Right? There's a minister saying that the CPEP workers has collateral damage. But you know, when he was the president of CW, listen to what he was saying then.
The Communication Workers Union says it is not ruling out the possibility of going before the Industrial Court to contest TSTT's decision to retrench 503 of its workers. As union members gathered outside of the company's head office in Port of Spain, their Secretary General Clyde Elder said they feel vindicated by the development. Janine Brown reports.
They're not going to stop us. To hell with them. They could do me what they want to do me. That is not going to stop me. In fact, it has strengthened me in my resolve to represent not just TSC workers, but for the working class of Trinidad and Tobago. That's what they have done.
And emboldened, the Secretary General of the Communication Workers Union, Clyde Elder, as the union made a showing outside TSTT's head office on Friday morning. Mr. Elder, who is among the 503 workers to get the axe from TSTT, accused the company of being underhanded in its handling of the retrenchment. He said that TSTT continuously dispelled the notion that termination was in the cards before making the announcement on Thursday. But the union said that the announcement does not point to any definitive action just yet.
So 503 workers are on notice saying that at the end of this year, you could be retrenched. That's notice. In the notice period, anything can happen. This is notice. So they can still be retooled, retrained, and redeployed in the notice period. We are in notice period.
The company, who this week pointed to its financial situation as the reason for the termination, is currently owed $400 million by government. The Secretary General is wondering why the workers are the ones being made to suffer for this debt owed.
So is TSCT and the government saying that because the government owes us money, we are being retrenched? So if they pay us, we go stay in the company? Is that the logic? Well, then if that's the logic, we want the government to pay us right now. Yes, pay us right now.
As it pertains to the CWU's next plan of action, Mr. Elder said that they're in communication with their lawyers. He confirmed that there's a strong possibility the matter will go before the Industrial Court. Janine Brown, TTT News.
Minister of Communications Stuart Young says government is not engaged in union busting. He was responding to the CWU Secretary General Clyde Elder. Mr. Elder had said the retrenchment of the 503 senior and junior workers was nothing but a union busting tactic. As he said, the unionized workforce is being depleted.
TSTT is essentially a private entity. My recollection of the shareholding of TSTT is 51% is owned by NEL, which is a publicly traded company in Trinidad and Tobago on our stock exchange, 49% by then Cable and Wireless. The management of TSTT has taken a decision that they need to restructure, to reorganize, and that is a process that is taking place.
All here, behavior. That was for 500 TSTT workers were being retrenched. Now there's a retrenchment benefit and severance account where there's a process. You have to get the workers notice 2 weeks and something, so on. Money, whatever. No, I don't have no problem. He did fighting for the workers. He was a union boss. But that was 500. Today, 10,500 workers get let go from CPEP, and that same man who is a minister now said them is collateral damage. You see how this stink and nasty, boy? When it's a union leader, you're fighting, yeah, boy, I'm good, I'm getting into court. Why you tell them to say CPEP go to industrial court? You call them collateral damage because why is a minister now? Eh? All your good, yes? You don't hear nothing from Ansel Roger, nothing. Because why? I ask that question because black or people, or they don't care. But your wife, it is alleged your wife is entitled to be on the board. She's a professional leader for somebody else. But they want everything. The same bourgeoisie class and employee class what they used to be talking about and cussing and balling they had the workers eating crumbs while the children studying abroad, while they living in big house, while they driving big car and the money big and they eating nice in hotel and they traveling the world all the time. All they saying that because all they want to become just like blasted them. That's what it was about. All it wasn't serious. All I wanted to really become them because now all is them because he only treating workers now. All they start a bunch of nastiness in my opinion, boy. I talking label here that it's real nastiness. All they quiet. Everybody quiet now. Because people getting on board. Hey. All they go lam. It have board and they have to have a god, you know. It have a god, you know. So I see this. That is the Minister of Finance there on a pan. You ever see tank on any pan? All they so love the pan now. But the $100 bill, we're supposed to have the steel pan on it. All they stop it from printing, but you're going to put it. Let me tell you, Winston's Priest Simon and them could have come around and start to bite all your ears and all kind of blasted thing. All they start to cantankerous, malagism set of people. Why you just don't have the pan? You're ponging so you ever go anywhere in any pan thing and before? I asking a question. All they still have the pan and all kind of thing but the pan and the pan this. But the $100 bill, the new $100 bill, all they stop it from being printed. Where would I have the pan on it? The coat of arms, where the tree strip come off, where the pan on it. All they have to know when using it for a love pan. Give me a break. There's mama against them, all them mama guy people and people falling for that. Why are feeling sorry for them? Calling sorry for themselves, I'm going to feel sorry for you. Let me continue. So, Member of Parliament Stuart Young had this to say concerning Exxon Mobil. Because if you leave it just so UNC will claim everything like them do it, and it has some people in this country that just go along with that. I don't know what it is, what they could have negotiated in 3 months. Nothing, what they could have implemented in 3 months. Nothing really more than a SOE. And make sure they fire over 10,000, 12,000 CPAP workers, LSA workers, forestry workers, and the list goes on and on. So this was in the Guardian 2 days ago. Young knocks PM for taking full credit on Exxon Mobil deal. Former Prime Minister and Energy Minister Stuart Young has challenged claims made by the government during yesterday's signing of the production sharing contract PSC with Exxon Mobil for block TTUD/1. Young said the deal was initiated by the previous People's National Movement, PNM government, explaining it was the PNM administration that engaged Exxon Mobil and commenced the negotiations for the ultra-deep water block with them. In fact, it was possible for us to have approved the PSC terms prior to the April 28th election, but we decided not to rush it. He criticized the current government taking full credit for the arrangement, adding, so the current administration has done very little to nothing to complete this deal. Young also warned against overly optimistic projection. There needs to be a seismic survey done, studies of the results, and many more technical studies completed before there can be any declaration of potential hydrocarbons, he said. He accused the Prime Minister and Minister of Energy of misleading the public. This is yet another blatant misrepresentation to the population, he said, recalling a similar false claim of a major oil find between 2010 and 15. Remember that? when Kamala Service and Kevin Ramner and them get on TV with a thing with some dirty water or some kind of thing about the fine oil. Or you remember that? If there are hydrocarbons in the ultra deep water blocks, it will take at least 15 to 20 years to come to the market. All you hear that? If there are hydrocarbons in the ultra deep water blocks, it will take at least 15 to 20 years to come to market. So whilst I am happy that the PSC has been signed, it has little to do with the UNC, and it certainly will not help us for another 15 years. Meanwhile, the Energy Chamber welcomed the signing, saying the merger of the 7 blocks into one creates a unique opportunity by reducing exploration and development risk and simplifying interactions with the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. The Chamber expressed enthusiasm over ExxonMobil's plan to conduct 5,500 square kilometers of 3D seismic surveys and drill 2 exploration wells within the next 6 to 12 months. It also praised the ministry for the swift completion of the PSC award and supported by the Prime Minister call for an attractive fiscal framework, the removal of administrative bottlenecks, modernization of license and approvals, and improved transparency. The Chamber noted that increased valuable projects can create more opportunities for local content development and contractors. Like them in here, this thing could take 10 to 15 to 20 years. They need that part. But the president, the prime minister, come up with and says, so who? When the man from ExxonMobil talk, he said, 6 months now ago, they're dealing with this deal. The UNC wasn't in office 6 months prior, that was since last year, December. So it has nothing to do with UNC. But again, they like to mama guy, mislead, and misrepresent. And people will just go with that. Let me continue. So I said, look, let me just go and read up on this thing a little bit. Just a minute. No, ExxonMobil is in the exploration stage. Exploration, not production, exploration. The duration of oil and gas exploration drilling can vary significantly, but generally range from several months to a year or more for an exploratory well. This includes the site preparation, drilling, well completion, and potential additional techniques like hydraulic fracturing. The process can be longer in offshore environments or when dealing with complex geological formations. The phase can take a 2 week, including clearing and leveling the area for the rig. Now remember, this is not on land. This is out in the sea, going 2,000 to 3,000 feet down. So this take a few weeks, including clearing and leveling the area. This is different, okay? Drilling a single well can take anywhere from a few weeks to a couple of months, depending on the depth and complexity of the formation. This phase where the well is prepared for production can take a few weeks to a month. Delineation, drilling, and development of the initial well is successful. Additional delineation and development drilling may be required, potentially extending the timeline by several years. Offshore exploration. I was not talking about on land. This is offshore. What I was talking about just now is on land exploration, them going offshore. Offshore exploration can take even longer with seismic surveys sometimes lasting for months, followed by additional drilling and development phases. And that is what Minister Hines would have, MP Young would have said. It's exploration now, they build nothing yet. That a build, they drill and the thing and whatever, and then they're going to explore. That a find and well and thing. And that will take time. That in the seismic study has to be done and all before. And if they do find anything to monetize, that could take even more years. So when Kamapasa be and them getting on, and kind of like we're going to get oil and gas 6 months' time, they're lying to people, if that is what they see. We're not going to get anything out of that for probably next 10 years or 15 years. ExxonMobil was in Guyana since 1991 or somewhere around there. And it's only how much years ago? they really get. Because all them time they was exploring. Since in the 90s, they were exploring. It's only in the 2000s where they strike Ting and they start the production. So you think it's not the same thing will happen in Trinidad? They're going to explore 2,000 to 3,000 feet down. Explore and see if they find a vein that coming probably leading from Guyana or wherever the case may be. That does take time. That ain't happening now. So we're not going to get nothing monetized now. So don't let them fool all. Oh my God, ExxonMobil is here. But gang thing is doing now. We're going to get gas. We're going to get the money. We could lower the price of the subsidy and the gas, add more subsidy to the gas, and we could pay. Hey, hey, a little guy caught up, you know. Yeah, that's trade unionists. I don't really sometimes read stuff you write. But I will read something here. This is news. Says 2 days ago, trade unionist ExxonMobil no Santa Claus. Trade unionist and attorney Clyde Weatherhead is amongst those who are skeptical about the benefits of Exxon deal. In a statement on August the 13th, Weatherhead said Exxon, who had left Trinidad 22 years ago, might not have the nation's best interest at heart. ExxonMobil is no Santa Claus. Yesterday, at the signing of the license for the exploration of the deepwater hydrocarbon resources, the top official of that oil baron multinational said, our plan and my commitment here is to bring that experience to benefit the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and we see great potential to replicate the Guyana success there. They see great potential. They didn't say they see it going to happen. You know. A potential is something, I see potential, but we have to work with you. We have to work with it. Somebody says, I see your talent, you could sing. You have potential. To get it to the next level, you have to work with you, and that could take years in voice training and all kind of things to reach to. Yeah? Okay. But I had said, what is the Guyana success except huge profits being amassed by Exxon and crumbs to the Guyanese people? Again, what I heard, it has to do with who do the contract for them. Because MP CyAh was Minister Energy at the time in an energy conference in Guyana. Told them in Guyana, if all they want, I could help all they renegotiate the contract all they had with ExxonMobil from how much years ago. Because things change. And Dr. Keith Christopher, the Prime Minister, told them that contracts are not written in stone. When conditions change, contracts could change. It's about who can negotiate. So Clyde Weatherhead, I stray from you at that point because about who it is doing the negotiating. Guyana ain't do no good negotiation. Them still bounded by the old contract them had with ExxonMobil. And we have one of the best negotiators in the world, Stuart Richard Young. Not me say so. He went to international firm and negotiators, and he was the keynote speaker. You know, he's a keynote speaker. Anyways, a report from Oil Law magazine in July 2024 said, as per a production sharing agreement with the Guyanese government and Exxon, profits from production of oil is split 50-50. They split 50-50. But that is after investment made by Exxon is recovered. That investment recovery has a ceiling up to 75% of produced barrels for a given period. Exxon also pays Guyana a 2% royalty of the value of the oil product produced. Oil now estimate that Guyana, because of its deal with Exxon, is getting about 14% of the value of the oil produced. After investment costs are recovered, Guyana is expected to get a bigger share. In a statement, where it said ExxonMobil was in TNT and left 22 years ago because they were not making the kind of huge profits they hoped for. Can we expect that in 2025, they are coming back to benefit the people and not their bottom line? Have they suddenly become generous and abandon maximum profits as their main goal as multinational? Guyana tells us no way. He raised questions on the specifics of the Exxon deal, noting that the deal was struck without a bidding process. Weatherhead also asked whether Exxon return to TNT is part of the geopolitical aim for the US empire of controlling the hydrocarbon resources globally. The people are the real owners of our natural resources, of our hydrocarbon resources, not just shareholders, as the PNM Prime Minister called us. So what is a shareholder if you're in a company is a shareholder? It's not basically the same thing he's saying. We are shareholders, all of us are shareholders. We have a share. We have a share in the profit. Each one of we have a share, so we are shareholders. As owners of our hydrocarbon resources, we have the right to know what the term and condition of that license is, and all licenses granted to the exploiters of our resources. I want to play this for Clyde Weatherhead. I don't know if he does listen to my show because I'm a big party. My show in the big party. I wonder if I still have it here. Listen to this. Clyde Weatherhead and all who listening and all who interested.
Trinidad Prime Minister recently said, while contracts bind us to terms and conditions, when circumstances change, contracts must change. None is cast in stone. Listen to him.
That there's a willingness not to treat contracts as cast in stone. That while contracts bind us to terms and conditions, if the conditions have changed so dramatically and so detrimentally, then the reopening and renegotiation of contracts is a reasonable demand of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And we anticipate that our partners in this business will see our claim as a fair and just one. And we anticipate that there will be some reopening of contracts so that at the end of the day, we can all sustainably benefit from the God-given riches of Trinidad and Tobago.
If the conditions change so dramatically and so detrimentally, then the reopening and renegotiation of contracts is a reasonable demand of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And he anticipates that the partners in this business will see Trinidad's claim as a fair and just one. So at the end of the day, they can all sustainably benefit from the God-given riches of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad, who got little or nothing left in the oil and gas industry, is currently receiving 67% total take, and they demanded the reopening and renegotiating of contracts. 3 weeks later, Trinidad and Tobago was able to smile because he got more for his people. Guyana, getting 14.5% after 75% cost oil. The worst oil deal on earth. And our leaders, all of them, government and opposition, is talking about how Exxon contract bind us, that they can do nothing. Matter of fact, when you talk about renegotiation of that contract, it's like you're interfering with their most prized asset. The 2% contract was signed when there was only 3 billion barrels. Today, not only circumstances change, but the barrels change to 11 billion barrels, which I believe, yes, is more than 100 billion. Neither the PNC, the AFC, or the PPP is talking about reopening or renegotiation of contracts. Guyana, Exxon contract must be set in a stone we never hear or know about. Have a nice day. A hellhole awaits all of you. Continue being silent. A message from Glenn Lal. Please share it.
Right? So Clyde Elder need to be concerned. Not Clyde Elder, no, is his name? Weatherhead. About this government. Because the former government, this man, Glenn Lal, He telling you as it is. And you heard what our Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher earlier said, contracts are not made in stone. So if Guyana have a bad contract with ExxonMobil and ExxonMobil eating them out local terms, that has nothing to do with we. But with this government in here now, we have to watch them because remember, the last time they make contract with the oil companies here, that they could dig and dig and drill, baby, drill. If you meet a driver, no steel or everything, you meet anything, you have to give you no money until 2024. Dr. Rowland came in and met that and had to go and renegotiate all them deals and them. So the People's National Movement and Stuart Richard Young, them know about contract. They know about negotiation. I don't know about them here, but I know them have nothing to do with this, and I'm quite sure that that contract was signed that was already done up by Stuart Richard Young and Dr. Keith Christopher as the Prime Minister. It will have things that will protect us from any kind of foolishness with ExxonMobil. I'm confident about that one. Listen to this.
One of the main items that we achieved that is actually keeping the Treasury afloat today is the restructuring of Atlantic LNG, and in particular, the foresight and the ability to negotiate better gas prices. We negotiated Asian prices called JKM that today is trading at $11.95 US. The two European prices that we use are TTF, which is trading today at $32.49, and NBP at $10 to $12. Gas prices which could be as much as 4 times what we would have been getting. Because another thing I was quite pleased to see in the newspapers was that Trinidad and Tobago received our green hydrogen project, tops the regional energy awards. Again, it was the previous administration's cabinet, the PNM cabinet, that took the decision for us to be the first in the CARICOM region and one of the first in this part of the hemisphere to set about to have a green hydrogen project. Another thing I saw recently was wind energy. And not surprisingly, the Honorable Minister of Energy, full of wind, was quick to claim he had something to do with it. Again, completely untrue. It is the previous administration that had the foresight to put Trinidad and Tobago at the forefront of alternate energy. Of course, Project Lara, you all have been hearing about that for ages. At the time, the UNC was trying to attack it. But it is now delivered and is the largest solar project in the whole Caribbean region. All of the gas projects that we negotiated, every single one that you're seeing come to fruition now, Mento, SIP, BP's SIP is going to the second part of its project. These are the things that are keeping Trinidad and Tobago.
Right? Those are the negotiation, the investment that the previous government under Dr. Keith Christopher Rowland, a negotiator and Minister of Energy, Sir Richard Young, was doing for this country. And that is what we're feeding off right now. February 21st, 2024, in CyAh News, Trinidad and Tobago Minister of Energy and Energy Industry, Stuart Young, is willing to help Guyana renegotiate the lopsided ExxonMobil contract to ensure all Guyanese benefit. The minister was a key speaker on the second day of the Guyana's Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo, being hosted by the Marriott Hotel in Kingston, Georgetown, under the theme Fueling Transformation and Modernization. You hear that? Let me continue. So I'm seeing here, Mama of all Mama Guy is saying 14 hours ago in the Daily Express, youth development to take center stage in the PM's first budget. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says youth development will remain a central focus on her government's first national budget. She was speaking yesterday at TSTT B-Mobile Future Leaders Engagement Function at the Diplomatic Center, St. Anne's, where 600 interns were in attendance. They will benefit from a 3-week internship at TSTT. In delivering the feature address, the Prime Minister outlined some of what can be expected in the upcoming budget, which is expected to be presented in September-October after Parliament reopens from its recess in September. As we prepare for national budget, youth development stays central. We will invest in technical, vocational, educational, predecessor said, I reads no more. This was 2011. Government shuts down El Dorado Youth Camp, who was in office in 2011. Kamla Prasad Bisesta and the NPP government, UNC. The El Dorado Youth Development Apprenticeship Center has been shut down to make way for the establishment of a nursing and healthcare education and training facility, Cabinet Minute number 1137, which has been obtained by Sunday Guardian, confirmed the closure and transfer of the center to the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Tertiary Education. They closed on the largest youth camp in this country. But the UNC have a history of closing on all trade schools, all youth camps. And they put tertiary education up there and the nursing thing. That didn't last as long as the Red House fire. But she's studying the youth now. YTEP, CCC, Homestead Program, the Ministry of Youth Development National Services that was geared to treat with youth. All they done with that. All they go back to Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs, where the youth department is a little department. The Homestead Program where the young people and them get the 2 acres of land, they start a home and $20,000 to do agriculture. All of the start of costs to know they're getting land and all that. Winston's all they care about youth. They got the life sport program that was to do something beautiful for youth, for the youths. What I do? So all of a sudden you care about youths and the youths. You care about the youths and 10,500 parents who have youths to send to school and to feed. And all they send them home one time. What youths all they care about? Just that a mama gives them and people falling for that. So TSTT have all of the youth. WASA had a training program where they're taking interns into who into engineer, this, that, and was updating the system. All that. It is a legend, all of them get fired. There was youths too. The same program, a kind of same program WASA had to taking them interns who come out with a major, with a master, and this and that in engineering and tech and this and that was working there. Where them now today? All they want the youth. TSCT could keep any 600 of them people, them mama get something, and all them things happened since UNC come in office. Everything I say, them thing was on the horizon before. In 3 months' time, TSCT could have never come up with a program at that scale. That was being done all the time under the People's National Movement. And because the government has shares in TSTT, the government may have known about it too. Games all they're playing. So this program that TSTT have is a youth initiative called Future Leaders Internship. The program will provide internship for over 600 young people across Trinidad and Tobago with a focus on developing digital and professional skills. The program, which was officially launched on the 31st of July 2025, is aimed at unemployed youth and those not in full-time tertiary education aged 17 to 21. FLIP is designed, that is the acronym, to equip young people with future-ready skills in areas like AI, cybersecurity, and storytelling. It also aims to build network and foster, foster connections that can lead to a new idea, companies, or movement. Right? The 3-week internship will involve a blended learning approach, combining virtual and in-person training sessions. Participants will receive a financial stipend. Right? So that's a good thing. So acting CEO Keanu Cox described the program as part of the broader strategy to build a more inclusive workforce and a stronger society. The program is seen as an investment in Tobago's youth and a way to create for them to build a future they can be proud of. Right? So in Tobago, a significant portion of the interns, 100, are from Tobago, highlighting the program's reach for the country. So that happened, I think, was yesterday. I want all to watch this.
Change of the island and upon us in. So come from the dust till dawn, as we rise up every morn. We climb through the skies like rain, our people will rise again. I think that is how it's done. Everyone can play their part. Man, woman, and child come in. Let the girls in the game. Oh yes. Give it. So we come on tight, train high. Find the village like every man. And we use them just like overflow. Cause the system ain't dead for you. But the positive life is strong. Oh, it's here today. Plant the seed of change in the ground. And if the fruits of love from this song. I'm sure we can rise up the shadows as we shine. Through the pain and the sorrows, leave the darkness behind. For the youth of the future, let the healing begin. In the rhythm of the island, let the burn us in. So come from the dust till dawn, as we rise up every morn. We climb through these nights like rain, our people will rise again. And it can explode inside, everyone can live hard. Man, woman, and child come in, let the kids in the game. Oh yes, come on.
I don't know. I am very happy for young brother. He's going up and up. I understand that he has a contract with TSTT. So anything that TSTT is having, he will have to be there. I think at time I think Destro and a lot of entertainers just get a contract or thing and they just appear in anything people might have it. So this wasn't he appeared for UNC. You know, they want to spend that. He's obligated, whatever. If he has a contract with TSTT, oh no, that's not let me see be like TSTT, same thing, or be mobile, whatever. But the thing is, you're contractually obligated, anything they have in to go. So I'm happy for your young brother, keep going up and up. I want to tell you something, just a little caution. The last Carlton and hold on to Kamala hand and come and sing and carry she on stage and all that, he still can't recover yet. It is alleged when Kishan Walker had win the javelin thing, whatever, whole night up and down and motorcade all over the place, camera, coming down to the wherever it is, he lost his steam. I was to go right back up to where he's from to get back his steam. People don't do well when they go on the company and thing, eh? That's my opinion. I've seen it all. You have enough evidence to get things there. So don't get caught up with that, young brother. Do your obligation, get your paper, and stay full. So Kamala Pesal again make a big entrance like if she has something to say. But that's all UNC doing, is just put up right now and making sure that she's this thing and she has done absolutely nothing. Mediocrity. That's what it is, mediocrity. Yeah, taking praise for things he ain't do, but then probably they're comfortable doing them things. So let me continue. I give him my opinion. I want you to listen to this.
14 to 16, 17 to 19, the very same period that we rejected the offer of 4%. So, as I've said in the past and I'll continue to say, we look forward to no later than this budget, September, October, where workers can finally see that 10% offer placed on the table so that we could recommence negotiations at 10%. And of course, we are behind for a period.
Right? That's Felicia Thomas there. Again, they're going to bullshit people. Because I want to ask you something in that ministry she went there, because I think the minister sees saying no, they can watch thing or something kind of thing. So I think he is in planning and what you call them thing, planning and development, whatever. They go back with the shit talk again. So I hear she called the period now 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So if the starting point of negotiation is 10% for 14, 15, 16, is it 10% for 17, 18, 19? She ain't talking that, you know. This dumb, and dumber. She ain't talking that, you know, because you don't negotiate in a bulk of years. negotiating period is not less than 3 years, not more than 5 years. And 2014, 15, 16 is 3, 17, 18, 19 is 3, 3 and 3, 6. So they can lump it together. There's no negotiating period for 6 years. So the starting point of negotiation is for what? It had to be only for 14, 15, 16. And then if that is it, what is the negotiating starting point for 17, 18, 19? Because you can't start at 10 again, because we negotiate based on the retail price index methodology, meaning how inflation eat up a worker's salary for the month and for the year and over the 3 years. So the inflation rate for 2014, 15, 16 will not be the same in 17, 18, 19. It will not be the same in 2021, 22. It will not be the same in 23, 24, 25. So if the starting point and negotiation is 10% for the period 2014, 15, 16, what is the starting point of negotiation for 17, 18, 19? And then what will it be for 2020, for 2021 and 22? And what will it be for 23, 24, 25? Girls stop bullshitting people now, boy. All they get it nice in Wasta, I don't care about that. All they was representing Wasta, all they from Wasta, all they have a right to fight for Wasta. But don't bullshit public officers, girl. Don't bullshit public officers, because I want to ask you a question. You're going down in that ministry. I want to ask you if you're aware of this. I'm going to say allegation, but I want to know if you're aware of this allegation. That a woman who come back from study leave, she's not the director of Tongue and Country Planning. And that woman along with the permanent secretary prepared a code of ethics and forcing the workers to sign that code of ethics. And if they don't sign it, they will face disciplinary action. I wonder if you, Felicia Thomas, you were down there talking bullshit. If you're aware of that, those allegations. If those allegations are true, I want to tell the permanent secretary and this woman who is not the director of Tongue and Country Planning, because like she went to study to come back and she own business, like she don't know the public service, because I want to tell them, if it is true, public officers just take an oath, an office, when they come to public service. If you ain't take it, that is up to you, but I would just take out office. And any changes to that has to be done with the union and the CPO. Nobody, no PS, no director, nobody can come up with no new code. No code of ethics and forcing nobody to stand. You already have a code of conduct. We are bounded by the code of conduct, the Public Service Regulation, and the Civil Service Act. Nothing else. So if that is what they're doing down in public, waiting Tongue and Country Planning, if those things are true, Felicia Thomas, you need to get your ass down there. If it wasn't there, you was already there. Because what those workers are doing, or those heads of departments are doing, if it is true, it is illegal. Yeah? A code of ethics, who is them to prepare a code of ethics? The union know anything about that? And if the workers are signing it, they will face disciplinary action? Are those allegations true down in planning? Tongue and Country Planning. The new director of Tongue and Country Planning who now come back from study leave. And they make the director of Tongue and Country Planning, along with the permanent secretary, it is alleged, has make up their own code of ethics and forcing public officers to sign it. And if they don't want to sign it, they face disciplinary action. It is alleged. I want to tell the public officers in Tongue and Country Planning, if it is true, don't sign it. Rip it up. Don't sign it. They can't force you to sign that. Don't sign it. You're already working on that code of conduct. You're working under the Public Service Regulation and the Civil Service Act, not with that director of planning say and with the permanent secretary say. I'm surprised at that permanent secretary if that is true. Because like you don't know your blasted job and your function. That's not part of your divulge duties. So the code of conduct sets out ethical guides for public officers. So we don't have it already in the code of conduct. We don't need no blasted code of ethics. All your makeup. All you feel like all your blasted ministry. And all the blasted house. I'm telling the workers in who work in town and country planning, if that is true, don't sign it. They can't do all nothing. We already have a code of conduct. Part 5 of the Integrity in Public Life Act contains a code of conduct which functions as a mechanism to help regulate the behaviors of all persons in public life and persons exercising public function. The code of conduct promotes predictability and ethical standards in the performance of duty for all those charged with carrying out public function. Thus, public officers or officials are required to treat all persons even-handedly and not just members of a particular group. The critical outcome of this behavior is that any member of the public who has settled a government service must receive the same treatment regardless of his or her race, color, class, creed, sex, and it goes on and on. But the salient point is you already have a code of conduct. Public officers already operate on that code of conduct. And when we come into the public service, the oath that we think is the oath of service. We know nothing about no ethics for all the making of, like not only blasted ministry. And I'm telling the workers again, don't sign it. They can't do nothing. Don't sign it. That is illegal. Because for them to bring and introduce in the Ministry of Code of Ethics, they have to treat with the union and they have to treat with the CPO. That can come from no permanent secretary and no director of no town and country planning. You come back, you feel it's your business place. You went and studied to come back to run your business. Go and open your business and have code of conduct, not in the public service, Miss Lady. And I'm ashamed of that permanent secretary. So Felicia Thomas, get your ass down there and see if those allegations are true and tell people the truth with this negotiating period, but let starting point at 10%. It can't be for us 6 years because there's no negotiating period for 6 years. It's no less than 3 years and no more than 5 years. And the 5 years is inside the in special tribunal, it becomes a 5-year period. No less than 3 years. That is a 3-year period, 14, 15, 16. That way it doesn't negotiate. So anytime you're negotiating, for the starting point of negotiation from 10%, it's only for the period 2014, 15, 16. Don't actually fool all you. And when they're coming for 17, 18, 19, they can't start at 10 again. Not to go higher than that. Because inflation has gone up since then. And when they go for the next 3 years higher, that's why economists was telling all you. What they're proposing is not realistic. So she fooling all your ass. It's alleged she got permanent. She was a contracted worker in Wasaino. She come and secondment to the union to work PSA, come in as a contracted worker from Wasa, some secretary, you know. Now it is alleged this girl is a permanent worker in range 60-something. So things nice. Things nice for them, so she could talk about a shit to public officers. You think she could go and tell Wasa workers them thing? So let me continue as I end so here now. And again, I tell town and country planning workers, public officers, if it is true, don't sign it. They could shout, they could threaten, they could all kind of things. Don't sign it because it will be legal. Let them know you have a code, a conduct already. You operate under the Public Service Regulation and the Civil Service Act. And when they came into the public service, you take out. That's it. Any changes have to be done with the union and the CPO. I want to know if the permanent secretary and that director of town and country planning, if all they conducted or if all they contacted all the legal department and all the legal department advise all they to do that. I just asking a question. I want to know if all you engage all the legal department in this what all they're doing there because they're supposed to tell all that's illegal. So this is how it's going to be now because a few people don't know the right and they have a weak ass union to represent them, a public service association that weak. They don't have money to pay the executive because people only dropping out like that. So they tell us that they can ride over people. People still have rights, you know. And even if he's not a PSA member, he's a PSA member and PSA, whatever it is, you could get a next union, you know, and to represent you, because it's labor we're talking about. All they know all the rights. Let me come to this quickly. Let me take a little bit and take a sip of water. Because plenty people ain't going to like what I'm going to say here. And I don't give a shit. I want to ask them PNM people who supporting the political leader, which is their right to do. Their right to do that. I wouldn't vex with nobody for doing that. That's a right. But I want to ask them a question. Or they really feel the opposition leader and political leader could lead this PNM into victory 2030? Answer that truthfully. Answer that truthfully. Because to this day, I've been asking, tell me what the opposition leader and political leader has done so I could come on my program and big share. All of them telling me she nice. I hear some up even last week. A former government minister went somewhere and then talking, say she's a nice lady, but she able. All of them talking are behind their hand, and nobody wants to come out and say nothing. I want to say, in my opinion, all they're selfish because all they're thinking about country, all they're thinking about probably what they could get with she did. All they're thinking country again. That is my opinion I give him. Because plenty all they know that the political leader, the PNM, she's a very nice lady, but she's not up to the task. She can't do it, and she can't lead nobody into the victory. Let me give you an example quick, a recent example. The meeting they had recently down south. MP Manning delivered because that is his comfort place. Finance, he delivered, they say yes, but Faris Alwari, he delivered. CPEP, the thing, he bring it to get all the, he bring all the receipt thing and say, yeah, boy. Hands Bean come up and had the place hot, excited. Young blood, Ting, great is it here. Say, yeah, thing happening tonight, thing happening tonight. The opposition leader get up and come up and what does she say? Everything she had planned to say, it done said already. Will you tell me that for? So you can't think of nothing else to talk about? You can latch on to stand your ground, make that your whole topic because this whole place turn up with that whole stand your ground thing. You can start to tell me, well, PNM will start to have consultation in the party group to talk about stand your ground and get their views because they're not knowing which party stand your ground consultation is. So we're going to do that and then we go present it. You can't talk all them things. You can't talk about the effects of stand your ground in a small society like ours that already have a lot of guns out here and how it affects Los Angeles and how it affects this place in America and that place and show you the pros and the cons. You can talk nothing about that. You come up to tell me what you plan to say. All of them done say it already. So you ain't come with nothing at all. I don't understand that. So you can't think on your feet. And I ask some people again, all they seriously believe the political leader, the PNM, could take PNM in the victory? You think this opposition leader, political leader, PNM, could attract young people? Me talking about the few there who must be looking for something. I don't know, I just asked that question. You think she could encourage a set of young people to join PNM? No. And all they know that. We need the PNM back in office. With this madness going on. That's how important it is. But like to all it's about all yourself. It's about all yourself and talking Black Party and the blasted Black Party could exist here. They tried Black Caucus. Black people went out in the numbers, spend money, thing going, wait today. This is a cosmopolitan country. I am not saying you shouldn't have a Black organization. Of course. That could lobby on behalf of people African descent. Of course. I don't have a problem with that. But don't tell me not no political party be no Black party. I ain't buying that bullshit. But I come back to what I'm saying again. The opposition leader and political leader, the People's National Movement cannot take the PNM anywhere. And plenty of them know that. Plenty people dropping out here. They're staying silent in a corner because they realize nothing happening. And the national executive waste action time. You tell me after now the social media officer or the sideline again, Dominic Romaine, who is the MP for up in Mousica, Malabar, Mousica thing of it. What is SMO doing? He come out and talking about nothing, writing nothing at all, nothing. So we going right back to square nothing. Not on top and nothing at all. If it wasn't for people who would have been writing on social media, them keyboard warriors and them would have been doing all them chatting and thing, and people will call on radio, and we don't do it little live and nothing. Nobody will never know nothing going on in PNM. So when you ask to take the position for when the teller go for tell them no and nothing about with that. All they go for position, all they can't do the work. And this little clique, all they have, all it's worse. This national executive of the PNM is the worst. I don't want nothing from PNM. I don't want them give me nothing. All I want is a good government in place for the future of this country. When you read Forge from the Love and Liberty and see what went in to developing this society by Dr. Eric William and the People's National Movement, you must feel a sense of pride and you must feel disappointed to see what's going on now. All the time was she nice my backside. Nice and kind in a way. Why you only want to like people, let the people be able to do the damn job? Then your family, then your auntie, your mama, your nenem. Why you like my backside? It's who can do the job for the citizens of this country, which include everybody, all races. And she can't do it. Or they can vex at me, or they can make life and cost me, but it's the blasted truth. Therefore, they want to say it, I say it. Because I'm concerned about Trinidad and Tobago. And what we have to stand up in defense of it. That, coming up blasted daughter-shness sour. But I don't like with Penny, and I don't dislike the woman. I don't even know she like that too, but I don't dislike her. I don't know her personally. But she put herself there. They went and they voted 7 of them alone went and voted for she to be opposition leader and didn't include the other 6. Okay, that passed. You want the work because what? You're there a long time and this entitled, like it is alleged elder say. It is alleged elder say his wife entitled to the board position, it is alleged. What is entitled? It's who can do the blasting work. And you can't, Miss Penelope Beckers Robinson, you can't do the work. I telling you, Jennifer Frederick telling you, you can't do the work. You know it. Your team around you, they can't do the work, but they ride in the tail because their personal ambition are given opinion here. So as I say again in the meeting, Brian Manning MP was good. Me listen to you alone. He bring me thing, the number to the Senator Alwari was good. He bring it for the CPAP workers and thing. He say, yeah, that case here, boy, that's something like class action suit and thing, boy, thing go happen thing. When young hands come up and hands don't talk, hands come up with the woman saying, oh, they run it now. We get all of the country to run, oh, they run it now. I say, what? Look thing tonight. My boy get on the holy attention, they feel the excitement rise up in you. He say, yeah, boy. When he say great is the PNM, I'm going to shouting, yes, yes. And then the opposition leader come and kill the whole vibes. Telling me that everything you plan to say, them don't say. So they sit over in caucus and say who will talk this and who will say that. So is everybody on their own? And who could talk, just talk and do what they have to do in the corner? It are not collective or what? Because if you're saying everything you plan to say, them don't say it. It means to say, oh, they sit over in a caucus and say, whoa, yeah, so well, Brian, listen, you go talk on this, whatever. Okay, right, yeah. Paris, you go talk and thing, right? Hans, you go think that. And I go hold long exercise, you only have no conversation. Or they're looking scrappy. You making them look scrappy because them came out and deliver. Political leader, you're making the PNM look scrappy. Because if the leader ain't strong enough, you go have chaos. Imagine a deputy political leader, all the cussing old people. One of your members of parliament say it is alleged. You don't want to old people around him, all the cussing John New Williams, a fella youth man. Some Copeland, something cussing. Well, not literally obscene language, but cussing John New when she old. She should go. I know he's only two opposition leader, political leader. The two political leaders, the PNM, they all, Ms. Baptiste Primus was 60 years old in 2009. She all, and we don't have a problem with that. Members all they have no problem with that. But all want to turn around and talk about, all they want to old people around all there. Now I say this is about personal thing, boy. This is not about the betterment of the PNM. Like when they come to mash up thing, but I'm telling you, forged from the love of liberty and the work. I read it inside this. And where the PNM come from, and the struggle and the strong women's league, yeah? And Dr. F. Williams and the lectures and all that, all they can't stop the PNM from rising, but all yeah, that's why I say, if all they can't do the work, ride out in the sunset, let people could do the work. Don't stay there. Don't stay there, all they just like them in PSA. All they can't do nothing for the workers in PSA, but all they stay in there and can't help workers. It's the same thing with the PNM and the national executive. They can't do nothing. The social media office after now can't say nothing, can't do nothing. The opposition leader didn't have a thought on she own. We have to fly to get her award, she gone. This is not if this was a beauty contest and Miss Congeniality and all that, yes, we in that. This is not what it's about. It's not who get the most awards and all. Miss Lady has to do the work. You put yourself there, you have to do the work and you're not doing it. PNM looking bad. Them ex-ministers and them talking that talk. They want to tell you but I will tell you, the truth does hurt. But you know what? It's better you know the truth than people wrong. You're lying to you. I'm going, yes. It's like a boxer in a fight. The next man beating him back. When the bell ring and he go in the corner, here he coach. Yeah, you're doing good. You have him under the ropes. Yeah. And the man face bleeding. He eyes swell, he could at least see. He mouth guard dropping out the mouth. And here he goes. Yeah, you're good. You have him, the man. And the man going back again. Go back in the corner. Here he goes. Yes, doing good. And the man could hardly walk. He thinking so like he want to fall long, all kind of thing. Eh? And all them now. Yes, doing good. Doing well. Let me just see something here. One of my lights come out here. Come on a minute earlier. Let me see if it's this one. Oh shit. Sorry about that. Oh Lord. Only I'll take off the lights. So it's not this one. Eh? Every time the man. Come on a minute earlier. Every time the boxer go out in the ring and hit the one shot. He go back in the corner. Yeah, he goes, you're doing well, doing good. You have a money, you have a money. That's what they're doing the woman by. Or they're making the woman feel she can run something. And all they're like, all they're planning, all their own scene, I don't know. But the PNM is bigger than all there. The People's National Movement is bigger than all there. It's a movement of the people, not a movement of penny and sheep people. It's a movement of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, all peoples. But there's African, there's Chinese, there's Indian, there's Syrian, there's Caucasian, there's Lebanese, there's whatever. It's a movement of all peoples. This is not penny movement and sheep people. That all I want to bring the PNM right now. PNM weak. All you know that. All who call, oh my God, and I know she could say that, and she don't like the woman, and all they blasted deceitful. Because all you know she weak. I've been saying that from day one, not because I don't like it, because I know it's true. And if I wanted to confirm, which I don't need to confirm, it's going on a stage about everything I plan to say, they already say it. Why the hell I hear here? We wasn't to know that. You just talk. It has so much thing to talk, so much thing going on in this country since the events coming. Them don't talk everything. Them talk in the area. You talk something. You're weak. If you can't do the work right out in the sunset, I saying so. If you can't do the work as the political leader because you're dragging down the PNM, or you're dragging PNM, it's all you have people divided and quarreling. It's not people want to be so. But when people try to tell all the truth what's happening, or they want to ostracize them, the next one stand on the space in the teeth. Who it is alleged say people jealousy. You stand up in a conference, you're just saying somehow what Dr. Eric Williams say. Dr. Eric Williams never say. I read it, I get to come upon with Dr. Eric Williams say to run people. He talk about fighting, he talk about taking back the enemies fighting against you. And you know what you talking about? Take back the information from the conference, go to your party. Me and read nowhere yet. If I bounce it up, I will come right here and apologize to she. If I read it through this book and find see anywhere where Dr. Eric Williams make a speech where he said to throw out people from the People's National Movement, me Jennifer fLeTcHiNg, I go come back here and apologize to the woman. Me ain't see that yet. It's all causing the contention in the People's National Movement. It's all you're not we. All they're going against we. We is the movement of the people. All they have to move based on the dictates of the people, not we moving and all that. It's all they have to listen to what we say, because we make up the movement. It's all they causing the bacchanal and confusion in the People's National Movement. Look at it alleged. I'm saying this in a couple of minutes because me business. It is alleged September affair or November affair, whatever affair it is. It's Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley in opposition. Would I come up with that and give a certain person to run the scene, and that person running that scene right through that and breakfast with the PM and all them kind of thing, everybody like it. I hear this here. The person who custom running and they tell the person is facing their teeth and whoever is alleged running thing now. And it is alleged Lee Hunt going to be asking, it is alleged, asking business people to buy tickets. What they're doing that for is all here causing problems in the PNL. All they want to ostracize everything, or they meet up, or they build nothing. If I want it is alleged field Balize house is here, and I don't know, I do not know that. I don't know nothing about them things. But all those operators of the People's National Movement is all you own. And not all are we own. But I'm saying it again here. If all the truthful to all yourself, all you will tell your opposition leader, the political leader, she not able, she not ready. This is not about a day here a long time and I deserve it now. This is not about that. This is not about making a history, but it's the first woman political leader of the People's National Movement, and you want to be the Prime Minister, the first woman PNM. This is not about them thing, you know. This is about bread and butter. It's about the children's future. The PNM was always about the future, the children's future. Here with Dr. Eric Williams say. Am I going to go 5 minutes late because all then hear me think. Here with Dr. Eric Williams say. Dedication. Dr. Eric Williams, message to the youth of the nation, Independence Youth Rally, Queen's Park Oval, the 30th of August, 1962. And so I say to you young people, forward to independence. Do not allow anyone to disrespect our national flag. Do not allow anyone to destroy one single national bird. Do not allow anyone to desecrate our national anthem. They are your flag, your birds, your anthem. It is your nation, even more than it is the nation of your parents. You are the future. We are the best. We are at best the present, and at worst the past. To your tender and loving hands, the future of the nation is entrusted. In your innocent hearts, the pride of the nation is enshrined. On your scholastic development, the salvation of the nation is dependent. Always about the youths. Or they can't track no youths to the PNM, how it is there, all they know that. Always about the youths, the future of the youths, the 10,000 something TPEP workers who get fired from an initiative of the People's National Movement to make sure that people at the lower range of the economic scale could still get a little dollar in their pocket, do a little training, mind the train, see about the train. They went home one time. Where the future of them children going to be if a UNC stay in office for 10 years? What the future of them little children going to be by that time? Who is 10 years old? Next 10 years is 20. They growing up in a space where their mother lost their work, their father lost their work, they lost their home, abuse in the home, all kind of thing. They ain't getting things, they couldn't finish school, all that. And all they're playing games with the People's National Movement now, but all the wicked hour. All the wicked hour. Me no bound to come by this house now. I don't eat and drink out and all them things, so them things don't bother me. Me no party person. I want no ticket to go nowhere. I don't want to invite to go nowhere, nothing at all. When I talk here, I talking from truth and honesty why I want to see the PNM do good. So we ain't talking because I work contract, or I want ticket for party, or I want a plate of food, or I want to be around the shakers and movers. I'm not about that. I'm not interested in those things. I'm interested in seeing the People's National Movement getting back on track to save this country from a UNC that gone haywire in the last 3-4 months. But under the leadership of the political leader, it ain't going there. Tell her I say so with all the love I send in. Because I mean her no disrespect. But sometimes you just have to call it and tell it. You have to know your ability, you have to know your limitation. I know I can't sing, but I love to sing. I can't sing at all. Me, I had a singing voice. If you just hear me. The notes and them cracking, so cracking thing, whatever it is, but I feel like a real sing. But I know I can't sing. I know my limitation. I could talk. That's my ability. I could talk. Get me in a space I could talk, but I can't sing. You have to know your limitation and your ability. And the political leader, the People's National Movement, needs to know she damn ability and she damn limitation. And be real with herself. And all them around her, stop fooling the woman because they want something. This is not about all their personal needs. It's about this country, the children who depend on all the wicked or what? The same way some always alleged went about during the election, April 28th, before the election, and tell people, don't vote for CyAh because it's a black party, it's a Chinese, it's a alleged only went and said them thing, and then nothing to pay them loss. Only gonna build it back. Only gonna build back something. Only think there's 33-3 or 29-12 when we have strong leaders. All I think is when Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley and Mr. Man and Breast Soul was there to build back. Look up to now, they can't get together yet. It's who talking about who own and who this and who that, and they will throw out this one, and they can't conform, and all this kind of trippiness. All they can't get together yet, and it's not who is always the problem. All in the latex is the problem. All who in Bali's house, all is the problem. We is not the problem. All is the problem. Fix the problem. Let me get the PNM back on track. That's what I will say. Who want to make life and cost, they could cost. The more they cost me, is the more my God, Papa God, God bless me. Because you know when I talk in truth. I talking from here. So the more they cost me, is the more I go get blessings. None of them can say I lie to them. None of them can say I thief nothing from them. None of them can say I ask them for nothing. So let them go ahead and cost. I say it again, the more they cost me, is the more my God will bless me. The more my ancestors will protect me. Because they know I'm walking truth and honesty. I'm not perfect. But only too wicked. All who's saying down there. And the opposition leader is nice. Yeah, she's a nice woman. What have to do with anything? That could take PNM back in office. All they know she weak. All they talking that talk. But like only one position, only one to office. So they're going along with it. Go along for how long? Go along for how friggin' long? When out here people suffering. I talked to a youth man yesterday. He was against. Was against the PNM and thing. I talked to the youth man yesterday. The man telling me, say, I was getting misinformation, boy. You know why? The blasted social media officer it had before and all that, they wasn't doing a blasted work like that, just like this one. So the information wasn't coming out as it should. He said no misinformation he was getting. He said like Dr. Rowley was talking the truth all the time, boy, because this one they ain't saying telling me nothing. It's serious out here, boy. Then you turn them over saying, make a bad mistake, boy. But who they going to look to? That weak political leader? Let me be real now. Let me be real. So let's sit down there in all the corner. But oh my God, how she could say that? And she's so loud and she's a nobody. And I said, what? With the next one, tell me that next stupid dirty one. I call her she dirty because them living dirty, you know. Them living dirty, you know. But I use a tap dog for sure. As I tell you before, I prefer to be a use a tap dog. I could still go roost. And I let somebody tend to be a close pin. They could get used and toast aside. Let me see all the word nice today. Let me see the truth hurts. Let me see if I can play. I stay a little 5 minutes over. I ain't gonna mind that. Let me see what is this. If the truth shall kill them, let them like. Who said Emmett Emmanuel Hunt? That is not literal, eh? So you know that is not a literal thing. So let me see all we have today. Let me see all we have today. Let me see all I can see today. So Joycelyn, Sweet Berries, Bernadine. Look, I have to get my list. Yes, I have a list of names I will just call, and I will just talk from that, whether they're there or not, and all you write the witness somewhere. So Teresa, Patricia, Althea, Hadara, Kim. Let me see who again. Hey. Let me see who again. David, Kevin. Let me see who good. Just only give me a minute there. Judy, Annette, Rebecca, Teresa, Marlene, Melka. I said Rebecca already. Althea. I said Teresa, Glennis, Rena, Lucy, Denise. Let me see. Constance. Let me see what Constance. I'll go back to that just now. Yes, like Cecily. Let's see who again. Nolda. Derek. Emmeline. Sarah, Tessa. I think I call her that already. Donna. Roslyn. Destiny. Laurel. Charles. Ophelia. Okay. I haven't seen Julian for a while. Hamilton. And Jillian. Rockman. Rockman girl. I wear Balti. Patty. I kind of learn anything. Chelsea, Blue, Lennox, Brenda, Lenore, Rebecca. I think I called Rebecca already, you know. Elena. Don't worry. Sarah. Ooh. Hey. Let me see. Jones, Brian. Let me see who again. I just want to thank everybody. I can't find one for the paper now. I want to thank everybody for coming out to still locked on and tune in. So let me talk the thing. Let me read a couple comments quick. I'll say I just get on a little extra, right? Real turncoat boy. Let me see. I am branching over to Bounce Up Central Network TV. The majority of my peeps are waiting. Bye to all my peeps here. Donna jump across here. Donna say not shy going to try people across here because on Bounce Up there's a good bacchanal going on and on. Then my sister Dana say, what is taking place in my country about? Why was Independence Day cancelled? I don't know if it's Independence or if it is the fireworks. I didn't read the story. I just stripped and I see it because for 9 years, they may take part in independence. I don't know why they're all up in it all of a sudden, suddenly. UNC government wants something to cancel. They should do Diwali. Adam set a old bamboo noise all over. Lookman said, them is where feces are going all over. I tell you, the bacchanal. The UNC union members are ill-informed, uninformed, and misinformed. A bunch of illiterates. Brenda is saying that. Lookman said they had to pay people they make deals with when they win, so they had to curtail costs of everything to pay. Okay. People, I said what I said. Who vex? I do business. Because nothing I say here, some are only here saying it. Remember who's in the sign on GMBD? Some only saying it. Saying it behind your hand, and saying it because they don't want to make waves, and saying it because they don't want contention, and saying it because they don't want people to watch it different, and because they want people to just like you. All that guy will help the PNM, and the thing will help Trinidad and Tobago. So they get out of that foolishness someone talk out. Because like they're not hearing all yeah, they're not listening to all in the PNM. The woman they can't go nowhere under space and she teeth. If she doesn't mention this, I mention it. Let us are disrespectful, that's quite okay. The women they can't go nowhere under her. The PNM can't go nowhere under the political leader, this political leader. She can't attract investors, can't attract young people to come. People find her boring, not me say so. She needs to go and talk to people, not just wrong the few hundred. I say she bought great is the PNM, great is the and people get up and walk and then even say it. Ma'am, check yourself now, man. The country's at stake. It's not about you and your ambitions alone. Mrs. Penelope Beckers Robinson, check yourself now. Do what is right for the interest of Trinidad and Tobago, the children of Trinidad and Tobago, not what is in your best interest because you feel they deserve it and they a long time. Oh God, only think about this country for once in all your life now. Think about the country like how Dr. Keith Christopher always thinking about the country, like how Mr. Manning used to think about the country, how George Chambers used to think about the country, how the late great Dr. Eric Williams, the founder of PM, used to think about the country. Think about the country now, man. Think about the country. Let me see what music you have here. Director, give me something nice to play. Give me something nice to play. Let me just meditate because that's not right. That's not right at all. That's not right. The time when they take to cuss people and on Facebook cussing people and all kind of thing. Talk to the political leader and tell her she's not ready. They need to work out something. She's not ready. She's not ready. Or they could say what they want. She's not ready. Now alone insists, I don't even want to tell her who is the ex-minister who says she's a nice lady, you know, but she's not ready. I ain't gonna tell her that. But just know they're talking.
Yeah. Revelation. He promised the fire next time. And who ain't dead, the bad wounded, who ain't dead, bad wounded, who ain't dead, the bad wounded, who ain't dead, bad wounded. Talk, you're mocking pretender. I check your lyrics and I come for test you. Far too long, you're fooling the children, filling the head with brainwash education. Doomsday reach, wipe and the retreat, cause the children coming to take back the feet. The power of the word in the conscious styling. Taking the way for a brand new morning. I say the power of the word in the rap so styling, rocking the roots of the vampire system. Talk it talk, you monkey pretender. Talk it talk, you bloody deceiver. Talk it talk, you serpent master. Talk it talk, you friggin' oppressor. La da di da 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 da, la da di da da da, la da di da 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 da. And illusion shatter, right down to the heart of the matter. Desire go bust and reality scatter. He promised to fire next time. He promised to fire next time. He promised, he promised, he promised, he promised, he promised to fire next time. Next time. And who in there, the badly wounded? Who in there, badly wounded? Who in there, the badly wounded? Who in there, badly wounded? Talk your talk, the mocking pretender. Take your lyrics and I come to test you far too long. You're fooling the children, filling the head with much education. Doomsday reach, can you retreat? The children coming to take up the street. The power of the wood, the conscious styling. I say the power of the wood, the rap so styling. Rocking the roots of the vampire system. Talk your talk, you fucking pretender. Talk your talk, you bloody deceiver. Talk your talk, you serpent master. Talk your talk, you friggin' oppressor. What is the matter? I can't seem to stop this ceaseless chatter. Chatter, 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 only wrong in my head. Oh Lord, like they want me to dead. Everybody talking, nobody listening. Oh my God, what really happening? Chatter, chatter, chatter. Chatter, chatter, chatter. What is the matter? Chatter, chatter, chatter. The ceaseless chatter going right down to the heart of the matter. Everybody talking, nobody listening. Listen to yourself. Everybody talking, nobody listening. Nobody listening.
People, today is Friday. The weekend is here. You all have a blessed and safe weekend. See you all on Monday. God's going to come with something for something new. This is your Ginger, Sister Jenny, Auntie Jenny. If you want to get home with me, channel for fLeTcHiNg. And please think about what I would have said, this, especially this last part here concerning people's national movement. Don't study me who's saying it. Think about it. You may not like the way I would have said it. You may not like my intonation. You might like a lot of things, but listen to the substance of the thing that I'm saying and tell me if I say anything there that only not thinking. I just want you to tell me that. Tell me if I said anything there that only self not thinking. You might like my delivery. I said that's okay. You might even like me. You might like this restaurant, all kind of things. You might find out this and here and all that, right? Because I just tell people, I don't expect everybody to like me because I don't like everybody. It's impossible for me to like everybody. If I make friends, I thank the Most High. If I don't make friends, I thank the Most High. I'm always grateful for my people on Facebook because it was way before I end up on YouTube. The people on YouTube, I love all the dread. I love all it. I mean, on the people on Facebook. Love all the dread because it was there with me in the beginning when I holding up my phone and all them kind of thing. I love it. And I love my new family also on Bounce Up, right? So I have a two family thing here. So I just telling all them why doing me and doing because I want no pips. I want my name called and say I do this. And I don't my name and no lights. My God don't give me all the lights here to give me already. I don't need nothing and no lights. I do because I love country and I love the people's national movement. I grew up in that. I saw my mother as a part of that. I saw the discipline. I saw the order. That is what I saw with the people's national movement. I remember when Dr. Ike Williams died, I was in Woodbrook Secondary. We hold on to each other, we were crying. Different, we hold on to each other and crying. And here we were saying, what will happen to we now? Because it was like it was with father. What will happen to we now? That we was crying and saying, what will happen to we now? They will stop with book grant, they will stop with uniform, they will stop with we was crying and saying, I remember that. I was heartbroken. My classmates, we were heartbroken. We were just standing up crying when we get the news that Dr. Eric Yusuf William died, we hold on each other, we were crying. And I show plenty of them, the parents are not paying them nothing, but it's just what he meant to this country, what he meant to school trend, because he said it here. When he talked at the youth rally, it was about the young people, the youth. So we could pass on. I was a youth back then. So we could pass on next job. But all they want to pass on at all. And all them pass on nothing to some of them. Use why some of them youth and them like that. Because them pass on, all they keep everything to all themselves and all they go on again. Same thing all they doing again now. Pulling in everything to all their stuff and getting the youth and them feeling disenchanted because they're not seeing nothing attractive to run to the PNM. They're running from UNC. But what they running to? What they running to? Come now, man. All they be real now, man. Be real now, man. Stop on his studying possession and money alone. It's a society that depends on the People's National Movement to rescue it. Has always rescued this country. Power. You could go with power. Man does have money and get sick, and the money can't do nothing for them, boy. Possession don't do nothing for them. You have a title, and that what you holding on to right now your name. Political leader is not your name. Opposition leader is not your name. Prime Minister is not a name. Minister of Energy is not a name. Deputy political leader is not a name. That's a title. But when people say a name, they must feel a sense of pride and something. Not saying, oh God, oh God. When we say Dr. Eric Eustace William, we think about education, national insurance, all the programs, buying, carrying everything, making the companies national. When them expire to wherever the hell when them going on, wherever they think. When you think about that, you talk about that. You ain't just a prime minister. The one Eric Eustace William evoke something in here. You say Patrick Manning and evoke something in here. Gate. 2020 vision. When you speak about Chambers, it evokes something, acquired dignity. When I say Chambers done see, that was a pawn. It didn't mean that he's stupid. It mean he done see everything already. The economy, all that, he tell me that. The economy can't think. And NAR come in, bam! IMF on the backside. When I hear Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, you remember COVID-19, the handling of COVID-19. You remember it coming in a recession and hold it together. You remember the COVID-19, you ain't going to work on the money in the bank every month. Not a gazetted public officer lost their work. You remember him for them things. You may go on again. We innocent, Rural Munila way just think that EMBD because he had a title, but the name. When you hear the name, you think of EMBD. Me and say guilty, me and say no. I just think that way you think. When you come up as a disaster, you know we go remember education system and she held children go to school, she stopped corporal punishment. When we talk later on about Barry Padarato thing, whatever, you know, you gonna say that the man who sent home 10,000 something workers, and them workers are children, look the children now, the children and them in a med, that we remember. No title. When I talk about my member of parliament, yes, I bring in a team, and it says Stuart Richard, the young ST. You think about all the negotiation, the oil deals. You think about the work he do in the oil sector, the energy sector, before nobody, when you start studying the energy sector, we just like bringing in money. We just on the energy sector, they, oil and gas, monies, you get the money. He make it exciting, he make it real, that you're all up in it. The amount of thing I learn, and he chronicle everything so you could go back and see, oh yeah, he talk about it. Yeah, talk. When you say, and I'm not in this to talk, when you talk about Miss Camille Robinson, you talk about the women, see, you talk about housing, public utility, chief whip. Camille Robinson, remember that? Remember when she said, Kamla should up beside this and Kamla beside this and come out with a racial thing against she. You remember when they said that? Really real, really real. Really now. When I hear Joan Williams, I remember Auntie Joan Boy, Community Development. I get a scholarship under that ministry to go and do dance and dance education. We're the first set of people get scholarship to go and do that. And you, where one to say, well, people go and say, everybody has said, oh, she was in the UN, what she do? She was public utilities minister, what she do? She was in this ministry, that ministry, and what she do? Come now, man. All you know I talking is the truth. All you know what I'm talking is the truth. All you know that. You can even say Faisal War, you know, say, yeah, the waterfront down in San Fernando, the man was pushing that and da. Alive? Come and birth, oh God. That man wasn't easy, no, short boss boy, he said, beat me outside. Yeah, something. And as bad as it was, he managed the economy based on and then it's the budget department as really do politics. But all you understand what I mean? When you say these names, you don't have to say title, you just say names. Something come to mind. Yeah. When I say Penelope Beckers Robinson, what the hell comes to mind? That is real talk. That real talk. So people have a blessed weekend. See you on Monday, Gospel. I want you all to listen to Sparrow, Good Citizen, and see if it apply anyway to anything.
When does someone really become a good citizen? I'd like to know for sure. Why when the ordinary man disagrees with the establishment, they call it treason? Why should they persecute a brother for seeking black power? Don't they know a blind man could see that this is blatant hypocrisy? The real traitors and them are all high in society. Yet the government protecting all of them and penalizing you and me. And in a million different ways they violate the law. It's the same good no good bastards who oppress the poor. They sell in black market making excess profit, paying a starvation salary. These good citizens are the architects of economic slavery. They say you have the right to criticize, but then you are victimized, and without any reason. Many a time you find yourself politically paralyzed by that same good citizen. Yet these fakes and phonies enjoy a long life of luxury while they spread corruption throughout the country. When they should be arrested, they're protected and respected in this society. And in a million different ways, they violate the law. It's the same good no good bastards who oppress the poor. With a false declaration, tax evasion, defrauding customs duty. These good citizens are the architects of economic slavery. Lust and greed and fraud and strife, they specialize. Double deals, they idolize. If you're brave enough to open your mouth and criticize, one time you are ostracized and or victimized. Still they go unpunished and unaccused of any crime, while on the backs of the ordinary man these vultures climb. They use the riches and the power, make a mockery of the law, and have the law protect them same time. In a million different ways they violate the law. It's the same good no good bastards who oppress the poor. They're controlling bootlegging, dope peddling, prostitution and piracy. These good citizens are the architects of economic slavery.
The people, again, love you all. Thank you all for the support as usual. And I'm out. I'm leaving you all with those thoughts and the things that I would have said and understand the context in which I say the things that I say. Operate on a level of using a emotional intelligence. I'm not saying that you all are not intelligent. I'm not my peeps and them who on my live I talking about. People in general who will watch it after and want to make all the pronouncement and all that. I want you all to listen to it and utilize the emotional intelligence. And then in a quiet moment, tell me where I would have said something wrong. And you could send a message to me. And if it is a legitimate something I read, whatever it is, I will come here and say, well, okay, I was wrong, this, whatever it is. Tell me, let me know what I say wrong. Yeah? Tell me if what I saying is not what all you're thinking also. Just be truthful to yourself now. Sometimes we need to take responsibility. Sometimes we have to come out of denial. Because Trinidad in a bad place now and you get worse, you know. All I have is studying right through then 10,500 CPEP workers, the reforestation workers, and all the other workers, especially reforestation and the CPEP workers. Where these people go and get money, had them woman and them done saying already, like they want them to beg. I don't know about all it, but I know it is not to be working and don't have no money and have children. And how you have to find something deep inside you not to do the wrong things to get money. It's not easy. Ban your belly. And if you have to just drink sugar water and parched flour, something, you do it. Because you don't want to go and do the alternative thing. But not everybody could do them thing. Not everybody build like when I studying them people, boy. What gonna happen when school open the second week in September? What happening all now with them trying eating? The woman who saying but they could have give her food cards instead. Vovana, where she named Mojito, ever get them this form and that form to say, get them a food card so they can have some food to eat. It's not easy here in the train ball, mommy, I'm hungry. It's not easy for a mother or a father to sit down and hear the train say, mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I'm hungry. My belly hurting me, I'm hungry. And you have nothing, you just feel like you fail your children. A man in the house, a husband in the house, his wife watching them, he just feel like he failed them. Because he can't provide or she can't provide, and it's not because they don't want to provide. They were fire dressed so. For God only have a heart now, man. They was fire dressed like that. They didn't do nothing. All I love, all I gone. I gone.